What if I told you that the reason you're not her priority isn't because of who she is, but because of how you're living your life right now? You keep bending over backward, trying to impress her, trying to fit into her world. And guess what? It's not working. You're being ignored, overlooked, treated like a backup plan. But here's the truth. The problem isn't her, it's you. You've been chasing her approval, but the real game changer is chasing your own. Welcome to a wake-up call. If you keep acting like you're optional, you're going to be treated that way. But what if I told you there's a way to completely turn the tables? Not by playing games or pretending to be someone you're not, but by embracing a mindset so powerful it stood the test of over 2,000 years. It's called Stoicism, the art of mastering your emotions, taking control of your life, and becoming a man who commands respect, not by asking for it, but by living it. When you embrace Stoicism, everything changes. Instead of seeking validation from her, you'll find it within yourself. You'll stop being a follower in her story and start being the leading man in your own. Here's the hard truth. Women don't want a man who's always available, bending to their every whim. They're drawn to men who live life on their own terms, men who are unshakable, grounded, and focused. That's what we're here to uncover today. How to stop being an option and start being the priority. Not just in her eyes, but in your own. Let's get something straight. This isn't about treating her badly or playing hard to get. That's childish and weak. It's about treating yourself better. You've been told to be nice, to always be available, to bend over backward for her happiness. How's that working out for you? You're ghosted. You're ignored. You feel like an afterthought. It's time to rewrite that story. Here's where Stoicism comes in. This philosophy teaches you to master your emotions, stay calm under pressure, and focus on what you can control. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't chase validation but attracts it naturally. When you become the best version of yourself, a man of integrity, purpose, and strength, you'll find that the dynamics of your relationships will shift. She won't just want to be around you, she'll fight to stay in your life. So, how do you start? First, stop prioritizing her over yourself. Set boundaries, pursue your goals, build a life that excites you. Second, stop reacting emotionally to every situation. Stay grounded. Show her that you're a man in control, not one swayed by every passing mood. And third, remember this: respect is earned, not demanded. Show her through your actions that you value yourself, and she will too. The path isn't easy, but it's worth it. Today is the day you stop being the fallback and start being the man she can't afford to lose. Not by changing who you are for her, but by becoming who you were always meant to be. Let's dive in and make it happen. Number 1. Why you're always the backup. A Stoic perspective on relationships. Let's be real for a moment. The reason you keep finding yourself as her backup plan isn't because of her, it's because of you. Hard truth? Maybe. But the sooner you face it, the sooner you can change it. Here's the thing. You're not a priority because you act like you're not a priority. Simple as that. She knows you'll stick around no matter what. Cancel plans, you're there. Go days without a word, you're still waiting. Disappear and reappear. You've got open arms. You're showing her loud and clear that you're her safety net, a fallback. And let's be honest, do you really think high-value men tolerate that kind of treatment? Of course not. Men who know their worth don't settle for being someone's plan B. They command respect, not by demanding it, but by respecting themselves first. Now, let's get deeper. The issue isn't just her behavior, it's how you've been allowing it. You've handed her the power by being overly available, overly eager, and frankly, too accommodating. Think about it. How can she value your time when you don't value it yourself? Texting back in seconds, always calling first, bending over backward for her. It doesn't show strength. It shows neediness. Scarcity breeds value. It's a timeless truth, echoed in Stoicism and beyond. When something is rare, it's treasured. When you're constantly available, you become just another option. But when you start setting boundaries, focusing on your own life, and making it clear that you won't settle for disrespect, you're no longer a fallback. You're a man she wants to chase. Here's the twist, though. This isn't just about her. If you're always playing the backup role in your relationships, chances are you're doing the same thing in other areas of your life: work, friendships, and family. You're putting everyone else's needs ahead of your own because you've been conditioned to believe that being nice and accommodating will earn you respect and love. But how's that working out for you? Exactly. Being kind isn't the problem. Kindness is a strength. The problem is when kindness crosses the line into self-sacrifice. When you're too available, too willing to put yourself last, it sends a message. I don't value myself enough to put myself first. And if you don't value yourself, why should anyone else? The Stoics teach us to live with purpose, to focus on what we can control, and to let go of what we can't. You can't control how she treats you, but you can control how you respond. You can decide to stop being a doormat. Start showing her and yourself that you have a life beyond her. Pursue your goals, invest in your passions, and live with intention. When you do, you'll find that respect from her and from the world will follow naturally. It's not about playing games, it's about living with dignity. Stop chasing, stop waiting, and start valuing yourself. Everything else will fall into place. Number 2. The power of emotional detachment. Mastering yourself and your relationships. Let's talk about one of the most powerful tools you can use in relationships: emotional detachment. Now, before you jump to conclusions, this isn't about being cold or unfeeling. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you refuse to be controlled by someone else's behavior or reactions. Here's the hard truth. The moment someone realizes they can manipulate your emotions, they have power over you. If her ignoring your texts, canceling plans, or sending mixed signals makes you anxious, jealous, or desperate, you've handed her the keys to your emotional state. That's a losing game. But when you embrace emotional detachment, everything changes. You take back control. Picture this. You're texting a woman, and suddenly her messages change. No more playful emojis. No more engaging conversations. Just dry, one-word replies. Most men would panic. They'd start analyzing every message, replaying every interaction, wondering what they did wrong. Not you. Why? Because you understand something essential. Her behavior isn't about you. Emotional detachment allows you to stay calm and composed, no matter what. If she stops replying, no big deal. You've got better things to do. If she cancels plans, that's fine. You've already got a backup plan. Your happiness, your confidence, and your sense of self-worth don't hinge on her actions. Here's the thing. Women are naturally drawn to stability. Emotional detachment makes you that steady presence in the storm of modern dating. It shows her that you're not easily shaken. that your world doesn't fall apart because of her whims. That kind of confidence is magnetic. It's rare, and that's what sets you apart. But this isn't just about how you handle her, it's about how you handle yourself. Emotional detachment isn't a trick to win women, it's a mindset to win at life. When you stop chasing validation, you free yourself to focus on what truly matters: your goals, your passions, your purpose. A man on a mission is unstoppable, and that energy is irresistible. Think about it. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and let go of the rest. You can't control her mood, her choices, or her actions, but you can control your response. And when you do that, you not only reclaim your power, you become a man who commands respect. This doesn't mean you don't care about the people in your life. Quite the opposite. You care deeply, but you care from a place of strength, not desperation. When you live with purpose, when you prioritize your time, and when you refuse to let others dictate your emotions, you become the man women admire and the man you were meant to be. Embrace emotional detachment, not as a tactic, but as a philosophy. Because the greatest strength a man can have is knowing that his happiness comes from within. The rest? It's just noise. Number 3, setting Stoic boundaries that demand respect. Let's talk about boundaries, one of the most crucial yet misunderstood aspects of any relationship. Here's the truth. If you don't set boundaries, she will. And trust me, her boundaries won't necessarily work in your favor. Too many men confuse boundaries with being controlling or rude, but that's not the case. Boundaries are about self-respect. They're about showing her and yourself that you value your time, energy, and principles enough to say no when something doesn't align with them. Picture this scenario. She texts you at 11 p.m., asking if you want to come over. If you drop everything and rush to her place, you're sending a message. Your time isn't valuable, and you're available at her convenience. But if you respond, "Sorry, I'm busy tonight, but I'd be happy to plan something for tomorrow," you've just set a boundary. That response says, "I'm not here for last-minute plans, and I value myself too much to be at your beck and call." This isn't about playing games, it's about living with integrity. When you set boundaries, you protect yourself, and you command respect. Women will naturally test your boundaries to see what they can get away with. If you let her walk all over you, she'll lose respect. And once respect is gone, attraction isn't far behind. Boundaries aren't just about saying no to spontaneous plans. They extend to every part of your life. You need boundaries around your time, your energy, and your emotional investment. For instance, if the woman you're dating is still exploring her options or dating other men, you need to be clear about your expectations. You might say, "I'm looking for something exclusive. If you're not on the same page, I understand, but I'm not interested in being one of many." That's a boundary. It's firm, it's respectful, and it communicates your standards. If she can't meet them, you walk away. No drama, no arguments. Just a quiet confidence that you won't settle for less than you deserve. Boundaries aren't about controlling others. They're about controlling yourself. They reflect your values and ensure that you're treated with the respect you've earned. Remember, a man who respects himself will always be respected by others. So set your boundaries, stand by them, and watch how your relationships and your life transform for the better. Number 4, why actions speak louder a Stoic approach to dating. In today's dating world, far too many men are caught up in endless talking and over-explaining while doing very little. You spend hours texting, reassuring her, trying to prove that you're different. But here's a hard truth. Women aren't swayed by words. They're moved by actions. You think you're making progress by telling her how serious you are, how much you care, or how you're not like the other guys. But to her, it's just noise. She's heard it all before. Lines like, "I'm different," or "I really care about you," are meaningless without action to back them up. And here's what she's really thinking while you're pouring your heart out. Let's see if he can prove it. Words might get her attention for a moment, but actions are what build respect and attraction. You could write her a love letter, compose poetry, or text her all day long, but none of it matters as much as showing her through consistent and decisive actions that you're a man of integrity. When your actions speak louder than your words, you show her that you don't need to explain yourself. You live it. You become the kind of man who quietly gets things done, who doesn't boast or seek her validation, because your self-worth comes from your own actions, not her approval. Think about the men women are naturally drawn to. Are they the ones constantly texting, overloading her with compliments, or trying to convince her of their value? Number. They're the ones who do what they say they'll do. They're calm, composed, and grounded. They don't chase validation because they already know their worth through their achievements and their character. This is the kind of man you need to become, a man of action. Be the one who shows up when it matters, who keeps his promises, and who doesn't feel the need to talk endlessly about what he's going to do. Your actions will say everything that words never could. In the end, it's not about being flashy or over the top. It's about being consistent, reliable, and true to yourself. Women respect men who lead with action, not words. So stop talking and start proving. That's how you stand out in today's chaotic dating world. Number 5. Master the art of mystery, a Stoic guide to intrigue in relationships. Let me tell you something. Women don't want a man who's an open book. If she can read you cover to cover, predict your every move, and know exactly what you're thinking, her interest will fade fast. That's why mastering the art of mystery is so important. Yet it's a skill most men have forgotten in today's over-connected world. We live in a time where everyone is constantly sharing their every thought, every feeling, and every moment online. But here's the problem. If she can easily categorize you, put you in a box, and predict your behavior, you've already lost her curiosity, and curiosity is the foundation of attraction. Now, I'm not saying you should lie or play mind games. Stoicism is about authenticity after all. But what I am saying is this: stop being so predictable. Predictability is the kiss of death in relationships, especially early on. You've got guys out here sending her good morning texts, good night texts, and hourly updates about their lives. Newsflash: that's not romantic. It's boring. When you're always available, always responding instantly, and always eager to share every detail, you're not giving her the chance to wonder about you. And wondering is what keeps her interested. Curiosity fuels attraction. Picture this. She texts you, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" Most guys would eagerly respond, spilling the details and hoping she joins in. But instead of saying, "Just hanging out, watching TV, want to come over?" Try this. "Got a few things going on. Might be out later. How about you? What have you done here? You've created intrigue. You've made her wonder. Now she's thinking, what's he up to? Who's he with? Why isn't he chasing me? That little seed of curiosity can grow into something much bigger. Interest, attraction, even desire. The goal isn't to play hard to get. It's to genuinely live your life with purpose and intention. Be the man who's focused on his own growth, passions, and goals. When you're not always available, when you're not constantly seeking her attention, you naturally become more appealing. Remember, attraction thrives in the unknown. She's not fantasizing about the guy who texts her every 5 minutes. She's thinking about the man who's a bit of a mystery, the one who's living his life and isn't always at her beck and call. Be that man. Keep her guessing. That's how you stay unforgettable. Number 6. Reclaiming your time. A Stoic approach to relationships. One of the most common mistakes men make in relationships is constantly rearranging their lives to fit hers. Let me make something clear. If you don't value your own time, no one else will, especially not her. If you're always available, always waiting for her to call, or dropping your plans at the last minute to accommodate hers, you're setting yourself up to be taken for granted. And once she takes you for granted, it's game over. In today's dating world, women are used to men bending over backward to please them. There's no shortage of guys willing to sacrifice their priorities, their schedules, and even their dignity for a sliver of her attention. But here's the truth. Women don't respect men who are too available. They respect men who value themselves, men who have a purpose, men who are focused on their own goals. When you're not afraid to say, "No, I can't make it. I have other plans," you send a powerful message. Your time is valuable. You're not there to be at her beck and call, and your life doesn't revolve around her. The moment you stop prioritizing her over everything else, something incredible happens. She starts chasing your time. She begins to see you in a different light, someone who respects himself and demands the same from others. Here's the key. This isn't about playing hard to get or being rude. It's about living your life with intention. If you're always available, you're unintentionally telling her that her time matters more than yours. But when you reclaim your time, when you focus on your passions, your work, and the things that truly matter, you become the kind of man women admire and desire. Women are drawn to men who know their worth, and a man who values his time is a man who commands respect. Don't be afraid to make her work for your attention. Let her earn it. Because the truth is, the moment you reclaim your time, you reclaim your power. And a man with that kind of power isn't just attractive, he's unforgettable. So stop waiting by the phone. Stop dropping everything for someone who doesn't reciprocate. Invest your time in what matters to you. The rest will take care of itself. Number 7. The Reciprocity Rule. Reclaiming your value in relationships. Here's where many men miss the mark. You're giving her everything, your time, energy, and attention. But what are you getting in return? A couple of lukewarm texts, half-hearted plans. Maybe she's even still entertaining other men. If the energy you're putting in isn't being matched, you're not in a relationship. You're being taken advantage of. And here's the tough pill to swallow. It's not her fault. It's yours. You've taught her that giving you the bare minimum is acceptable. By constantly showing up and over-delivering while she puts in little effort, you've set the bar so low she doesn't have to work to keep you around. Women are masters of effort management. They instinctively know how much attention they need to give, to keep a man interested without overcommitting. If you're getting breadcrumbs, it's because you've shown her that you're willing to settle for them. Here's the reality. She's not too busy to text back or make plans. She's prioritizing someone else, someone she respects, someone she views as worth her time. And the reason you're getting half the effort is simple. You've shown her that you'll stick around regardless. If you don't demand reciprocity, you'll never get it. So what's the solution? Stop being so accommodating. Stop overextending yourself. If she's not putting in effort, pull back. It's that straightforward. Most men think they can win her back by trying harder, sending more texts, planning more dates, being more available. But that's the opposite of what you should do. If she's not reciprocating, the best move is to step back and let her feel your absence. Imagine you've been dating a woman for a few weeks. At first, she's engaged, texting you, making plans, showing genuine interest. But over time, her effort wanes. Now, you're the one doing all the work. What do? Most men panic. They double down, chasing her attention even more. But here's what you should do. Pull back. Stop texting her. Stop initiating plans. When you create that space, one of two things will happen. If she's interested, she'll notice the shift and start putting in effort to reconnect. If she's not, she'll disappear, and that's exactly what you want. A woman who doesn't reciprocate your energy isn't going to prioritize you. And honestly, why would you invest in someone who only sees you as a convenience? The reciprocity rule is simple. Your energy should be matched. You deserve to be with someone who values your time and effort as much as you value theirs. Anything less isn't worth your investment. Respect yourself enough to walk away from one-sided relationships. It's the ultimate act of self-worth. Number 8. Turning rejection into power. A Stoic perspective. Rejection. It's a word that sends most men into a tailspin. She doesn't text back. She cancels a date. She ghosts you. Suddenly, you're questioning everything. Your worth, your approach, even your existence. Stop. Take a breath. Rejection isn't the end of the world. It's actually the start of something better. Here's the truth. Rejection isn't about you. It's about her. If she's rejecting you, it's a blessing in disguise. Yes, you might have liked her, but if she didn't see your value, she was never truly yours to begin with. And that's her problem, not yours. Why? Because rejection is a powerful teacher. It's not a setback. It's an opportunity to grow, to reevaluate, and to become stronger. When a woman rejects you, she's doing you a favor. She's showing you where you might need to grow, where your weaknesses are, and where your potential begins. She's freeing up your time and energy for someone who will actually value what you bring to the table. Rejection isn't a definition of your worth. It's a tool for refinement. It pushes you to become the best version of yourself. Here's a reality check. Rejection is a normal part of the game. You're not going to win them all, and that's okay. Most women will reject you, not because you're lacking, but because they're chasing their own agendas, looking for the highest value man they can find in that moment. If you don't fit their criteria at that time, they'll move on. And guess what? That's not your problem. It's their loss, not yours. The Stoic approach to rejection is simple. Don't take it personally. Instead of spiraling into self-doubt or self-pity, use rejection as a mirror. What does it reveal about you? Were you too available? Did you lack boundaries? Were you chasing too hard? Whatever the answer, let rejection highlight your blind spots, not define your self-worth. And here's the beauty of rejection. It's freedom. When someone cancels, ghosts you, or says, "I'm not ready for a relationship right now," they're clearing your path for someone better, someone who will appreciate and reciprocate your effort. The next time you're rejected, don't despair. Instead, thank her. Yes, thank her. She's given you the opportunity to focus on yourself, to improve, and to level up. Success is the greatest revenge on rejection. When you rise above it, when you channel that energy into becoming a better version of yourself, the tables turn. The woman who rejected you today might regret it tomorrow when she sees you thriving, more confident, more successful, and surrounded by people who genuinely value you. Remember, rejection is part of the journey, not the destination. It's there to teach you, to push you, and to refine you. Don't let it break you. Let it build you. Keep moving forward, keep improving, and let success speak for itself. Number 9. Become her emotional anchor. A Stoic approach. Women experience emotions in waves, rising and falling, often unpredictably. If you want to be the man she can't replace, don't get swept up in her emotional tides. Instead, become the calm in her storm. Most men make the mistake of reacting to a woman's emotional highs and lows. They try to fix her problems, match her intensity, or worse, become emotional themselves. That's exactly what you shouldn't do. Your role isn't to ride her roller coaster. It's to stand steady while it moves around you. Here's the truth. Women naturally gravitate toward men who provide stability. In a world where their feelings can be chaotic, they seek someone who remains grounded and unshaken. When she's upset, don't overreact. Don't blow up her phone or let her mood dictate yours. Instead, stay composed. Be the man who listens calmly, who doesn't flinch at her emotions, and who isn't pulled into the drama. This doesn't mean ignoring her. It means showing her that you can be her rock when everything else feels uncertain. Think about it. Most guys crumble under the weight of a woman's emotions. They get needy, insecure, or overly reactive. But when you remain calm and collected, you set yourself apart. You become the man she can rely on, the one she turns to when things get tough. Over time, she'll associate you with peace and stability. Every emotional storm she faces will lead her back to you, not because you fix her problems, but because you're unshaken by them. That's what makes you her anchor, not just another man caught in the waves. Number 10. The Scarcity Principle. How to become a priority. Here's a tough pill to swallow. The more available you are, the less she values you. It's not personal. It's just how attraction works. If she knows you're always there, ready to respond at the drop of a hat, what motivation does she have to make you a priority? Why would she put in effort when your attention is freely available? Women are naturally drawn to men with purpose, men who are busy building their lives, not waiting around for a text. If you're constantly answering her messages within seconds, rearranging your schedule to see her, and dropping everything at her request, you're sending a clear message. My time isn't valuable. And if you don't value your time, why should she? The key is to create scarcity. Stop being at her beck and call. Stop making yourself so accessible, so predictable. When you're always available, you don't just diminish attraction, you give the impression that you have nothing more important going on in your life. And let's be real, No high-value woman wants a man who lacks ambition or purpose. Think about the men who are most successful in their relationships. They're not waiting by the phone or clearing their calendar at the slightest hint of interest. They're busy, pursuing goals, growing, and focusing on what matters to them. Their time is limited, and that scarcity makes it valuable. When you're less available, the dynamic changes. Suddenly, she's the one wondering what you're up to. She's curious about why you're not always around, and that curiosity leads her to prioritize you. Scarcity creates demand. It's a fundamental truth. So, step back. Focus on your goals, your ambitions, and your life. When she sees that you're a man with purpose, she'll work harder to be part of it. And that's how you shift from being an option to being a priority. Here's the truth. If you want to be her priority, you need to stop acting like an option. Stop giving your time, energy, and attention to women who don't truly value you. Respect starts with yourself. When you set boundaries, prioritize your own life, and operate on your terms, you send a powerful message. You're a man of value. Adopting a Stoic mindset means no longer reacting to her games or seeking constant validation. It's about valuing your time, demanding reciprocity, and focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. When you do this, you transform into the man she can't afford to lose. She'll see you as a rare presence in her life, someone who's steady, confident, and self-assured, a man worth prioritizing. And let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about mastering your emotions, controlling your time, and living a life so fulfilling that she naturally wants to be part of it. When you focus on your growth and purpose, everything else falls into place. If you found this perspective valuable, consider supporting the movement. By subscribing, liking, and sharing this message, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping other men realize their worth. Together we can build a community where men prioritize their lives and relationships with purpose and integrity. So, take the first step. Value yourself, respect your time, and watch how the world responds to the man you become.